Hi everyone. It's been a while since I recorded video. I think I'm always like, I'm not cleaned up enough to record a video. So I think sometimes, you worry too much about what am I gonna look like? So hi, I'm not gonna worry about that today. Um, I am enjoying so much reading your work. I am not kidding when I just gush in my announcements or emails to you. You're doing really beautiful work, like some of the best work overall, like as a class, these long, thoughtful, just beautiful posts on the things that we're reading in a long time. Like I have had lots of great classes, but like all together, you're just writing these stunning things. So thank you so much. And thank you for the feedback that you continue to give to each other. If you haven't watched Heather Robinson's Make that she posted for this upcoming Sundays, she recorded the most awesome video with her daughter, um, showing what it's like to be Melody in the chapter book Out of My Mind. And it just, Heather, you did such a good job with that. Thank you so much. And it's definitely worth watching. And it also inspired me like, oh, I should record a video. It's so nice to see your faces. So you just finished chapter books and you did such great work also with the Miller kind of chapter 2 stuff. I particularly want to highlight how many of you talked about this ongoing journey to kind of find books and know about children's books so you can make good recommendations. And I was looking again at a few of them that I had read last week, and I was smiling at the fact that Samantha talks about keeping secret books, behind her desk. That she says these are her new books that students can read and recommend. So already doing the work that Miller recommends about how to get kids excited about reading. Um, and then just a lot of you talking about, uh, that reading a book aloud can get kids super interested in reading a book, that that we have to have a love of reading in order to share with them, a love of reading with students. And I know sometimes it's hard. I kind of always have a book with me. I always have a book with me in a purse or a backpack because I really do take up Donald Miller's ideas about fringe reading, like when you have 10 minutes somewhere, if you're picking up, my kids are grown, but back when I was picking up kids from whatever sports, if I had 10 or 15 minutes, children's books are fast, so you can get a lot of reading done and just kind of those moments that you catch. Sometimes I stop scrolling, Instagram and decide to read for 5 or 10 minutes instead. This time I am rereading. I read this really fast this summer. I always read a couple of new books to recommend for my classes. So I'm rereading Ben B and the Teacher Griefer with you all for this upcoming Make Cycle. So the next Make Cycle is free verse novels. And Ben B and the Teacher Griefer is a little bit different than the other three, in that it has some free verse in it, but it also just has some interesting multimodal components. So like image, dialogue, walkthroughs, like just some interesting textual features. The other three, the crossover, Inside Out, and Back Again, and Brown Girl Dreaming, are really like poetic form. And I think if you haven't opened them yet, you'll be like, oh my gosh, what's this? So what I'm interested in one of the prompts over the next couple of weeks will ask you to think about what this does to your reading practices. Does it speed you up? Does it slow you down? Is it annoying? Is it beautiful? These books in particular are really meant to be read aloud because they are in poetic form. And yeah, they're really beautiful. So if you have a place where you can read a few things out loud, you might find that interesting. Or even do a search for your author, because I posted one of Jacqueline Woodson reading from Brown Girl Dreaming, and you can usually find all the authors' videos of them reading a little bit from their books. So it might be interesting to hear their voices, reading it. So yeah, I'm excited for you. So you'll read Miller chapter 3, you'll do some work with free verse novels, and I'm also going to turn you toward Donald Miller has this great site called the Nerdy Book Club that I rely on a lot for finding new books, the recommendations from her and from other teachers. And it is the way I stay current. At the end of each year, they have the Nerdies, And combined with the Caldecott and Newbery and Michael Prince award-winning books, the Nerdies are a great way to find and stay current in children's books. And you can find a lot of them, in the library and those kinds of things too. I also really like, by the way, that Tina made a point in this last, Tina Steele made a point in this last bit of writing about, how hard it is sometimes for our libraries to be open in very rural areas. And so curating a bunch of online and digital resources for yourself, since there is so much freely available for kids online, is such a smart thing to do when access to a library is not the same as living in the Bay Area, right? As those of living in this area. Sometimes you even have a little local library, but it's open, 2 hours on Sunday or whatever, because that's what people can afford. Such a responsibility on teachers to get books. And I have a lot of friends who do GoFundMe just so they can buy books for their classrooms. So I'm always like, start now. Tell people for gifts you want children's books. Takes such a long time. So yeah, thank you all for all the work you're doing. I'm really excited for you to read these free verse novels, even though it might be a little bit different of a reading practice. So yeah, and thanks. See you on the Currents, reading all your stuff. Have a good Friday. Oh, and I'm a huge baseball fan. So the Giants are winning and we're playing the Dodgers. So I'm, if you're not a Dodgers fan, sorry, wish us luck. Go Giants.